Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. It's a cooking video, hence the apron. Stop getting me jumper splashed. It's a quick cooking video. It's probably, out of my batch cooking types, it's the one that's the fastest because the meat involved is mince and it cooks fast. And yeah, everything else is tins and jars basically, and onions. So it's just a matter of, I've already chopped up the onions to save time, on the grounds that that must be the most boring thing in the world to watch somebody chop onions, especially at the sort of speed that a non-chefy person can do. You watch a chef chop an onion, it's like an art form, isn't it? I can't do that. Right, so today is Tuesday evening. This will get posted tomorrow morning, Wednesday, and at some point during the day tomorrow I will do my best to load the members only video at the one that goes at the start of the month, which is for all members, whether on Patreon or on YouTube, and it's all tiers as well. So I'll try and get that done tomorrow. Thursday I'm out and there will be a video of the place I'm visiting. So we've actually got an outside video to come. Which, given the time I get back, I should be able to process that and post it on Thursday. And after that, I haven't thought that far ahead yet. But Saturday is an Orchid Society meeting, so there won't be a video on Saturday. So we'll see how we go. But on my new not posting every day intentionally. So while there are things to post, yes, I will post every day, because some people are worried that things will slip. I mean, some actually said, you know, if people expect a video every day and they turn up for a couple of days and there isn't one, they might find other things to view and just not bother coming back. This is possibly true, but if I haven't got anything to film, then there won't be a video. That's the way I'm looking at it. If I have, then there will be. So there will be days when there won't be videos. Hopefully not consecutive days, and if so, certainly no more than 2. We should be okay down that front. Right, so we're doing a chili con carne, con carne, one of those two. And to go with that, we've opened a bottle of Rioja. There isn't much really goes with chili, you know, specifically. Because when you get hot and spicy, quite honestly, the wine you have, well, don't spend a lot of money on it because you won't do it justice. Many meals have a harmonising type of wine. I don't think chili does. Hot and spicy, you know, probably not. I mean, I know a Shiraz goes quite nice with curry. Because it is a slightly peppery taste, it has an element of spicy in it. Now that might go with chili, but I haven't got any, so it's a Rioja. Right, I forgot to get some oil. I'll do that now. Ordinary olive oil, because the extra virgin oil isn't really any good for cooking because it's got a very low, what do they call it? Smoke point. Right, let's twist the camera around to the where the action is. Not that there's a great deal to see really. Got my trusty wok. I can't see what the hell I'm doing because I haven't twisted the screen. Is that somewhere near it? Yeah. What's the There's a blue light on my screen. There's a blue light. Here, there isn't one. I don't know what on earth that is. It's got to be the camera playing with the colours. It's here. Yeah, it's here. This is a lovely blue colour. And do you know what I think it is? I've just worked it out. It's the sky. It's the night sky, or the nearly dark sky, reflecting on the shiny stuff, I think. Right, let's come out of it and in a bit and do those adjustments. And get rid of that because that's not for tonight. It's my breakfast pan for my eggs, which I don't wash up in between because all I'm going to cook in it is some more eggs. Right, let's make with the fire. Stir and stick. We will retaste the wine to make sure it's still okay. Yeah, it's still okay. Right, so what have we got then? We've got 1 tin of black beans. Sorry. Yeah, and then we've got, whoops, 2 tins of kidney beans. And we've got a tin of baked beans, purely because it adds variety. That means there are 3 types of beans in here. I used to get tins of mixed beans, but there's a couple of types of beans in the mixed beans that I really don't like. And it was sort of spoiling the meal for me. Are we hot yet? Reckon so. Right, so onions in. Pre-chopped, as I said, it's dead boring watching somebody chop onions. I still haven't got my proper chopping board. I had lots of comments on, don't get a plastic one, you'll get micro doodads in your food. It's funny, loads of the chefs use plastic. But the trendy thing now is to use bamboo chopping boards, which is wood. Last time I looked, well, that's wood. But I would suggest probably the most hygienic and practical, because it cannot possibly absorb anything, is glass, when you can get glass chopping boards. So I think when I get round to it, Hannah could get me that for Christmas. She's always, what do you want for Christmas, Dad? Oh, I don't know, I don't need anything. Well, for my birthday, I thought I'd try an electric razor. So Hannah got me an electric razor, and she was pleased to have something that I actually wanted, rather than socks. The traditional man present, socks. I mean, I've gone several Christmases in the past without any socks. I've had to buy them myself. Terrible. Right, that's the onions getting there. But as they're going to carry on cooking while I'm cooking the meat, we will push those to one side. Get the meat on. That's a very large amount of meat. I might start going down to the next size down actually, because I mean, quite honestly, you can have a chilli without any meat, you just have a veggie one. Just different types of beans and the onions. You don't have to have meat, but I like it like this. It is rather a lot. It was a bit annoying actually, because this pack didn't have a very long use by date on it. And it was today, so this had to be used today basically, and it has been. So you're there. You're touching raw meat, wash your hands. Always, no matter what sort of meat, if it's raw meat, if it's cooked meat, perhaps it's not so bad, but if it's raw meat, you should wash your hands. What all the chefs on the TV do, you know, they'll play around with vegetables, they'll play around with this, they'll do all sorts of things and just sort of wipe their hands in a cloth. But if they're handling things like chicken or beef, straight in the sink, wash their hands every time. It's probably when they were at chef school, if they forgot and didn't wash their hands, they'd go and sit on the naughty step, I expect. Come on then.
to be having in. This is because it's going to have the sauces and everything poured on, and it will be allowed to simmer for a while. If I don't get every bit of pink on the beef, it doesn't actually matter. It will still carry on cooking. I just like to see most of the pink gone, then I know that it's cooked through. And this is 5% fat. This is the leanest mince that supermarket that I use actually do. They do a 15% fat, but I wouldn't use that for cooking. I used to get that from Mojo on the grounds that, you know, once he started to lose weight because of his age, it seemed sensible to get the higher fat content for him. But he went off it, he didn't like it. So I went back to the 5% for Mojo as well. Whenever I have a home delivery, Mojo has his own little pack of mince, and it does in 4 breakfasts, and he absolutely loves it. And I found some, he has wet food. He doesn't have biscuits. He used to have biscuits, but he started leaving them, and they just go soft and, you know, stale, and they never got used, so I ended up throwing them away. So I stopped getting him biscuits. He just has wet food now. And I've just found another one. It's a little bit expensive because I'm paying probably $4.50 to $5.50 for 12 packs, 85 grams. And this one is, well, it was on offer, that's why I thought I'd try it. It was £5 for 8 packs. So, you know, relatively speaking, it's more expensive. But whereas the wet food that he has most of the time is the percentage of actual meat. You know, it says with turkey. The actual percentage of turkey is quite low. It's like less than 10%. There's not a lot of real meat in it. There's meat derivatives, I think they call it, which people who are into sort of real food type thing for their pets. Oh, you don't want to have that. That's things like feathers and beaks and feet. You ever seen a cat eat a bird? How much is left? I don't think it's a big deal. It's what they would do if they caught one. Same as if they catch a mouse or something like that. There's not a lot left. So anyway, this stuff is 46% meat. That's a lot of meat. So that's a much healthier food for him. But I need to see that he likes it first. And what I thought I'd do is that obviously his mince lasts 4 days and then it's gone. And then he doesn't get any more until the next home shop arrives. Well, I thought on the days when he's not having his mince, he could have one of those for breakfast, a sort of special pack of wet food, much higher meat content. Then I know that he's had some reasonable meat in his diet every day. So that's the theory, but he might not like it. If he doesn't like it, then I won't be getting any more, obviously. So we shall see. As I said, he doesn't have biscuits anymore. He just went off them. I think it was well, once upon a time they had the wet food, the packs, the pouches, as a treat. When I had both cats around the old house, they used to have biscuits for their main food, and then they used to have one of these between them as a treat. Whereas Mojo eats 3 or 4 of them a day at the moment. Oh, and by the way, I don't know whether I've said in another video, because I forget these things, when I took him to have his claws done and got him weighed, he's back up to 3.6 kilos. So he was 5 at one point, and he dropped down to 3.1, which was a bit worrying, but you know, the nurse said that's natural. You know, older cats, they do start to drop their weight. They often go off their food. Well, he hasn't done that, which is good. And if you've got cans like that, do that. And then when it gets thrown away, little creatures can't get their heads stuck in there. It's important. Just push the lid in and flatten it. It's a lot of beans. So, as long as it doesn't overflow over the top, we're all right. Now, if I get a fork out, I shall need a fork to eat my tea anyway in a minute when it's done. But that'll, because these always stick to the tin. I don't eat baked beans very often. When Hannah's down, Sunday morning we usually have a cooked breakfast. Not a full English. We usually have some fried eggs, a couple of fried eggs, some hash browns and some baked beans. And apart from that, I don't really eat beans apart from putting the beans in the chilli. Those out the way. Oh, and the other news, the gates have stopped working again. When you, if somebody buzzes, you know, from outside and you press the button to open the gates, only one of them opens. Well, that's actually okay, because like the home shop delivery, they only need one gate open. But to get vehicles in and out, both gates need to open, and only one's opening at the moment, and it doesn't automatically close, it stays open. You have to switch it to manual to close it. So next door are leaving their cars out in the road now, they're not bringing them in. Well, it's only her that brings her car in. He leaves his out apart from holiday time when he brings it in, because obviously he's not going to work, he needs it for work every day. I think he's being nice to me to a degree, although what he doesn't know is it doesn't work. Because obviously it's a shared drive area, he's probably thinking that if he has his car on the drive, he goes to work quite early, sometimes like 20 to 6, quarter to 6, and he's probably thinking that would disturb me. Little does he know, I've usually been up about an hour and a half by then. No, he wouldn't disturb me. But she usually has her car in the drive every day, and she's stopped doing it. She's leaving it in the road. It's quite a big deal. You've got there's a big long thing that's got the motor in it, a big long arm on each gate, and then there's a thing that you turn to switch it to manual. But while it's on manual, the gates flop around, so they blow around in the wind. So if you were coming home, you'd have to stop with the car outside, get out, use the little side gate to come in, and then switch the two gates to manual and open them manually, literally. Come on, out you come. Look. Got no time for messing about, thank you. Open them manually, and then if it's a bit breezy, you'd have to lock them again so that when you drive your car in, the gate doesn't blow onto your car. And then you'd have to park your car up, get out of the car, switch them back to manual to close them, and then switch them back to auto to lock them. And it's you know, if that's pouring with rain when you're doing that, it's not funny. It's a big deal. And the problem I've got is that every time there's been a problem with the gates, it's been me phoning the guy. Well, it is shared. We're both responsible for the gates, and I've got a feeling in my mind I'm thinking, well, actually it's your turn, mate, not mine. Because when we had the you know, when we had to have a lot of it replaced, all the electronics, because it stopped
stopped working altogether, we paid half each, and we both had an invoice. So he's got the guy's phone number and details. It's not like he doesn't know who it is or anything. He's got all that. But the problem we've got is that the boxes, the control boxes with all the, you know, all the circuitry and connections and everything in, are on the side of the driveway, sort of behind one of the gate posts, on his bit. And he's built up what was a weed bed of nettles and brambles and everything. He's got rid of all that, and he's piled up a load of gravel on it to make it look nice. And one of the boxes is half buried. Well, that might even be the problem. But for the guy to come and look at it, he's going to need access to the boxes with the electronics in. And at the moment he hasn't got it. So I'm not sure what to do, because I don't want any upsets with neighbours. But, you know, if I'm going to call the guy and get him to come and have a look, then he, you know, next door I've got to sort out that gravel and get that box exposed properly. Otherwise, you know, he's not going to be able to do the job, is he? You know, so there's always a hassle of some sort, isn't there? Life's never easy. Right, that is the mixing and ingredients done. Now obviously everything that went in there, once the meat and the onions were actually cooked and hot, everything else that went in there is cold. So the heat is on incredibly low at the moment, and in a very short while we will start getting some bloops. And then I usually give it about 15 minutes when it gets to that stage. So that's what we're waiting for, basically. And in the meantime we get out our containers, which that may not be enough. What have we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, when I do this type of cooking, I portion it up. One for me, one for now, and then all the rest are for Ron. Who's Ron, I hear you say? Well, later on. Or Arthur. Arthur this one. But yeah, I usually get 7 or 8 meals. Because I've stopped having rice because of the starchiness as part of my diet. I tend to have slightly larger portions, so whereas I used to get 8 or 9, I now get 7 or 8, because I have the portions slightly larger to make up for the fact I'm not having rice, which sounds a bit counterproductive, but there isn't much in there that's fattening. There's a little bit more salt than I would like because of the jars of sauce. It seems that everybody who puts something in a jar, and often in a tin, believes that it's not going to taste any good unless it's got loads of salt in it. Well, yes it can. You put proper flavour and ingredients in, it will be fine. You don't need loads of salt. And, you know, with a heart condition, I don't need loads of salt. I don't add salt to anything. The only time I ever have, I've got some sprinkly salt, as I call it, the fine salt, is I have a little bit of that if I have fries. That's the only time I ever add salt to anything. Right, we need a big spoon. Big serving spoon. That's to get that into there. And some of it into there to eat. And that's it. Basically, that's as I said, that's the easiest and fastest batch cook that I actually do, because the meat cooks fast. I mean, if you think with the curry, it's still not right, is it? Come on, concentrate. Somewhere like that. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, with the curry, obviously the chicken is raw and it's chunks. It's big chunks. So literally I have to have 2 pans on the go, you know, one for the the other ingredients, and one to cook the chicken specifically in a separate pan, so that I can brown it nicely and make sure it's cooked mostly through. It doesn't matter if it's not totally cooked, because again, it's going to be in the sauce for a while. And the other meal that I do, this type of cooking, where I do a big cauldron full, which is brew, hubble bubble, toil and trouble, is the spaghetti, for spaghetti bolognese. And I brought that back in. I stopped having that because that's no good without actual spaghetti, you know, the pasta bit. This is just, it's not right, is it? You can have a curry without rice if you like, but you know, but the spaghetti without the spaghetti just doesn't work for me. And with the diet, I decided to cut out the pasta and all that sort of stuff. So I brought that back in on the grounds that I lost a stone. I don't know what that is in foreign. I'm afraid my brain still works in ounces and pounds and stones for people's type weight. And I lost a stone, which is 14 pounds. You can do your own conversion for kilograms. And I thought, that was not hard work, but it was a massive change in my diet, and a lot of stuff got excluded. Bread, butter, rice, pasta, potatoes, quite a lot of things just got scrapped. And then I thought, well, actually I enjoy my food with some wine. It's part of life, isn't it? You've got to have some. And I enjoy spaghetti. It's a meal I really like, and I have a nice Chianti with it. And I thought, well, if I start putting weight back on again, it's going to be very, very slowly. And if it does go that way, then so be it. I'm not making a big deal out of it. I mean, it's like the meal I had, you know, back the weekend with that nice bottle of wine my son got me. You know, steak, fries, sweet corn, wine, you know, it was quite a heavy going meal really, and I shouldn't be eating that sort of thing. But you got to live, and you should enjoy your food. In my mind, food is for sustenance. You have to have some, but it can be enjoyment as well. So that's the way I've gone now. So the spaghetti is back on, and that will be the next one, as we did curry last time. And then as the portions of curry in the freezer start getting a bit thin on the ground, we need to think about doing another one, which is this one. And I've still got some curries left, so I'm not living off of chili for the next 3 or 4 weeks. There'll be some curries in there as well as my other food. I have quite a lot of fish in my diet. A lot of fish in my diet, quite honestly. But yeah, so the next batch cook will be the spaghetti. And quite honestly, it's almost the same as what we've just done, apart from we got mushrooms. So we'll have onions, we'll have mushrooms, we'll have the mince, and then we'll have the sauces. So it's a very similar sort of batch cook. But it doesn't make quite so many portions, but I'm happy with that. So there we go. That's what's coming up. We've gone over that, and that's blipping away nicely. So it's back up to temperature. Now, as I said, once it starts to blip, I give it sort of 10-15 minutes, which means I'm going to be having a late tea tonight because it's 5 o'clock now. I've normally eaten by 5. I normally have my main meal of the day about 4:45, something like that. But thereabouts. It's not a precise thing. It's not an exact science. It's when it's ready, basically. I mean, there have been times when I've fallen asleep in the chair and woken up at 6:30 and thought, "Ooh, I've missed me tea. Well, we'll have a late one then." So be it. Yeah. So thanks for dropping by. And as I say, I don't know quite why the cooking videos are popular, because I'm not exactly doing anything flash. But we have a chat, and perhaps that's what it's all about. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for dropping by.